Okay, hello. Brenner Oswick. It does not hurt as badly as you expected. You are in shock and you refuse to believe that you are in shock. Brenner, the horse doesn't get slower. You just get better at riding it. You are exceptional at getting hurt. You lose 3 strength and dexterity. You realize that Taldred and Nothing Gold are looking at you, and you can imagine their mental catalogs for arms. He's not wrong. The both of you are already playing with your mental Brenner maker. Not that anyone would accuse either of you of attempting to manipulate your party members, Nothing Gold, or remake them in your image, Taldred Talton. Nothing like that. Brenner, you see Nothing Gold nodding ambitiously, and in her mind's eye you can see a heartwood limb extending down from your shoulder as a massive limb would grow from an established old-growth tree. Brenner, you see Taldred Talton nodding forwardly, and you know he is thinking about the synthesis of constructs in people. You can imagine a sleek metallic arm that exceeds your natural abilities. Brenner, you can imagine Maris treating your disembodied arm with great reverence. You see her tracing the shape of your tricep, finding the spot where it meets your ulna, structures that you will never use again. You remember that Alex had some sort of umbral arm on her empty socket. Much to consider, Brenner, your quest log has been updated. Yoros, you hear a lot of voices in your head. You are becoming accustomed to this. It's not just Moss. Recently, you've never used the message spell so much in your life. The party used it as a tactical form of communication in Arabel, and you are starting to see the value of using the spell this way. You wonder why people didn't do this before the spell plague. You can imagine a little world where you can complain to anyone you want whenever you want. You construct a reverie wherein you craft excellent put-downs and send them like sharp arcane darts across the world. Just when you are thinking of a funny way to use this technology to get Brenner and Samantha to fight, you are summarily victimized by it. You hear a voice. Saraith lo of Ahar, Fana no Isil, so Nalen no Pella Valar. The action is with the party. You find yourselves where we left you here.
I'm creeping up toward the Oswald Company. I'm not trying to be stealthy, I'm just walking.
So you are. You see Elias Kit and Saul Vance. You overhear them. You eavesdrop. They do not seem eager to hide this from you, Ada. They're having a conversation about whether or not Elias inherited the title Iron Mane or if that was merely a nickname for Brenner. As you walk up, they look at you. They both nod at you.
Hello, Oswald Company. How are you tonight?
They look between each other and then back at you. I mean, about as good as I can imagine. I mean, I'm not trying to be full of myself, but did you see what we did today? The dragons were surrounding me. Your healer, he points to Taldred. Wow. Sala nods.
You, Elias, stood toe-to-toe with 2 red dragons. A feat almost nobody in the realms can claim. You gave me cover to take down that spelljammer. Very good job.
He nods appreciatively and extends a hand. Do you shake it?
I do.
You do. His hand is warm, and he embraces you like a distant sibling.
I'll accept and give him a pat on the back.
You do so.
Sala, you weren't in my field of view, but here we all are, victorious in the field of battle, and I just wanted to congratulate you all.
She gives you a curt bow, accepting your assessment of the situation. It is a glorious victory that you have won, is it not?
It definitely is. Well, I just wanted to congratulate us all. We're all here alive, on Toril, breathing, while a red dragon is not, and the Spelljammer lies a ruin.
You notice Ada. As you are enjoying your moment of victory, both of the paladins are eyeing you up as well. What is the rest of the party doing?
At this point, I think Brenner has his back up to the tree where his sleeping bag is. He's mulling things over, casting cursory glances between Nothing Gold and Gasmere as they're having their conversation.
Yeah, I think Nothing Gold is still talking to Gasmere about her daggers. In general, she's busy with her diagrams and her concept art of things she plans to make in the near future.
Gasmere is half engaged in this conversation, and she's glancing a bit towards Euros, Samantha, and
Evan.
Bauer. Yeah. Just to kind of see what they're doing.
What is Euros doing?
Euros is staring at the fire, and then he looks up as he hears something in his head, and he looks around, confused. But as he was looking up, he was also starting to go through his bag and taking out some of the items that he'd taken from Avery, and he was setting them to his side and actually now taking a look at them.
Gasmere, you observe Euros unpacking weaponry from his pack and examining it. Euros, you hear a voice in your head. It's a different voice than the one you just heard. It says, Zog Kutoth Agranar, Yak Rai Itenoth, Con Eratoth Orion Lon Norioth.
I will quickly look around again in confusion.
You see your companions. You see two bannermen of the Oswick Company. You see two Purple Dragon Knights. You see a hastily repaired Cole Cormier cart. You see trees, deciduous ones. You see a cloudy night sky. You see a fire burning.
Is yours very obviously looking around at the party at this point?
I would say it's very noticeable, yes.
In a somewhat struggle, Brenner will push off with his left arm, get onto his knees, push all the way up, and walk towards. Across the campfire, his eyes glance. It seems he's not staring at you, but he's staring at the fire. Thank you. I didn't get to say as much. You saved my life. I've spoken so much of this ward that everyone is under my purview, and I will protect them. I thought I would take up arms with my father's blade to that which was divine. He points back over his shoulder as he's pointing out each individual. Ada's eye. I could do nothing. You fell. I could do nothing. And now this. As he holds his hand over the gaping shoulder that he has bandaged together. I could do nothing. I have to do something. And you gave me that opportunity. Thank you.
Euros, you are digesting Brenner's words, but you hear a voice in your head. Your contract has expired for non-payment. Your account has been closed. Please visit your local branch of the Church of Shar for more information. Shadows keep you.
Did you hear that?
Brenner takes a breath in, as if all of the words that he has just espoused upon you fell on deaf ear. Yeah. He turns back around and presses himself back up against this oaken structure behind him.
Euros, you keep twitching.
Do you not hear that?
Hear what?
Sylvan? I don't know. Orc? A salesman?
I'm hearing voices in your head.
Sounds like they're right next to me. Is it not you?
No, it really isn't.
I mean, I can alter my voice, but you could tell when I'm doing it.
You still have the stone, don't you? Is it you?
I think she'll say something in Sylvan using the stone in his head, but it'll sound very different.
You just said you could change your voice.
I said that you could tell when I do it,
How could I tell?
because I have to alter the actual chords and...
But you're facing away from me. How would I see that?
Do you not sense when people are casting magic, drawing on... Oh, maybe you don't, because you're pulling on a completely different weave. It's not me, however, I am a little concerned. Do you remember any of the Sylvan?
No. I presumed to be Sylvan. I've heard something similar. Could I recite it to you? No.
And none of it was familiar, the voices. You've never heard them before.
I feel like I have, but I don't think so.
If it's a message spell, they have to know you in order to talk to you, right? They have to have seen you at least once.
No.
No?
Have you seen or talked to Helm and you were trying to talk to him?
Oh, I've seen enough images of him. Is he not around? I don't know. I mean, maybe you're right.
I mean, there are ways to get around it.
In either case, they spoke no words you understood.
No. Except for the last one. It said something about a contract. Or my payment is expired.
A contract?
Payment, contract, I don't know. It said to go to the church to renew it.
Can you cast message to me right now?
I can try. I will raise up my hand and with my finger, as I always do with the message spell, and point. And under my breath, I will whisper, "Hello, Nothing Gold. This is a test."
It arrives without interruption.
Okay. I was concerned / relieved for a second, thinking maybe your ties to the Shadow Weave had expired, but doesn't seem to be the case. What? I wonder what contract they're talking about. That's very concerning. Contracts are very dangerous. We should get a lawyer.
Brenner just looks over his shoulder to Ada. I think we already have one.
You should attempt to remove your armor.
I can't. I've tried.
Have you tried it just now?
No, but I don't want to risk anything.
Really? Are there ill consequences if you try it?
That's what I've been told.
What Todred's around? I mean, somewhere. He's not here right now, but...
I think he took off for a piss.
Bless him.
You aren't that
I think he's trying
flimsy,
to pull
are you?
something
I'm
else.
sure you can handle it.
I don't think I could. I
Cool.
am good at running from things and being ahead of things. But when it is something of this caliber of the unknown, I don't think that's up my purview. Magic, wishy-washy spell,
Let me see if I
things from
understand
the
this
unknown.
correctly. You've never actually tried it. Somebody merely told you that if you attempt it, something awful would happen.
Yes.
Was it Moss that told you that?
Moss said that the armor is how we communicate, how we stay in touch. I was also told by Avery that the armor is what lets me use the magic. And taking it
Avery's...
off severs ties and you can't get it back.
Well, Avery is dead, and you've not exchanged words with your friend lately, have you?
Not since we last left that region, no.
How
And
about
perhaps
you unbuckle one strap and we shall see what happens. You can stop if it begins to seem like your blood will boil.
You just want to see me suffer.
No, I'd actually love to see you free of it. That'd be interesting.
Well, you're certainly not instilling the best of confidence.
Well, we can always wait until Mr. Tolton returns if you'd prefer to have a cleric on hand.
Yeah, yes, yes. I would
Very
very
well.
much prefer to have an alleged medical professional on hand should anything go wrong.
Alleged? Has he not proven himself in your eyes?
Yes.
Yes, he has not proven himself.
he's the best medic I've ever met in my life. 40 years in the field of battle, tending with the men of the salt of earth. Taldred Talton, as he looks around, ensuring that he is not within earshot as he gives him this compliment, because he knows all too well he'd be feeding into it.
Then let's not insult the man by adding alleged.
Well, you don't want to stroke up their ego too hard now, do you?
Yes, but that's where the other insults come in. I've got a handful. Don't worry.
Was that part of the book that Samantha gave you?
I see across the table. I'm not sure anybody actually
Oh,
knows
would
about
we
the
know about
book.
that? Yeah.
The only people that were outside when that was happening was Brenner and Elias and Sala, and all three of them were drunk.
Okay.
Nothing Gold might have been outside, but I believe that everybody was party girling as you were having your dealing.
Okay, right. Scratch that joke then. Do not know about book.
Yeah, sorry. I think Gasmere probably would have kept that to herself.
Yeah, it's okay.
What is Taldred Tolton up to?
He's communing.
Are you waiting on the results of this commune?
He hasn't asked the questions yet.
Yes. That,
Yeah,
okay.
it was the last thing we were going to do, but I said we'll just wait till next session.
Sounds good. I think 10 minutes has probably passed. Would you like to initiate your communing now?
I would, yes.
Okay. You get 3 questions.
Taldred's first question is, will the Githyanki be back?
Yes.
Do you know when?
No.
Should I kill the priestess of Cyric?
Yes.
Oh, that's all.
You think you can see a bit of the moon peeking through the clouds just for a moment as you communicate with your deity. Then, at once, it is cloudy once again.
Taldred reconvenes with the group.
Brenner has pried off his left gauntlet with teeth to pull apart the straps. He's worriedly rubbing the ring, his signet ring, on his hand. Nothing gold. I meant what I said.
It won't be easy.
Has it been easy up to this point?
I mean, I never thought you were afraid of a little pain, but this is change beyond what you humans are supposed to be capable of.
I know. I also know this is the first choice I get to make. I've called him my father. He is, but not by blood. I was the coinage paid for the debt of 2 farmers, unable to protect their own land. I did not choose to be part of the Oswald Company. I don't regret it, but that was not a choice I cast. I did not choose to become the Radiant Knight of Torm. And I barely chose to bring back the name of the Oswald Company after he passed. I choose this. My reasons for going to Zental Keep were a selfish one. I did not intend to outright kill Tyranny Fang. I sought severance above all else. I thought that whatever might be in this keep could take these jaws off of my back. The irony of it all it took was he looks up. Something from not here to do just what I was looking for. I don't want this to be a selfish act. You seek to kill Tyranny Fang, is that true?
I do. For selfish reasons as well.
Then let's not make them selfish. You lost someone, not yesterday.
Yes, her too, yes.
I can't come into your fold. I don't possess your being. But I can protect it.
No, I know you can. I guess I was just thinking with all of your vows of protection, it seems about time that you get protection yourself. You are a child of this world, like the rest of us, and no, I am not a priestess of wildfire who can induct you into being able to use the weave, but I think between the two of us we can figure something out, something no one's seen before, and that would be very exciting, right?
When I close my eye, I used to see pitch black pierced through with this golden visage of a lion. That was me. That was all that was myself. In these few hours since my arm is severed, I close my eyes and I see nothing. So to call it excitement, when I close my eyes and we speak these words, and I see nothing but a burning road, then yes, excitement would be the word.
I think of it as less nothing and more an empty canvas. There's always possibility even after you lose everything. And that is sort of what the heart of wildfire is.
Let us hope that we could paint a pretty picture then.
I do hope you like shades of red.
Better than gold.
I would like to approach the Purple Dragon Knights.
You do so, Ada. As you do so, Spanbauer walks over to you squarely and puts a hand on your shoulder if you allow it.
I allow it.
He looks down at you and says something in a gruff voice. Would you ever consider a career with the Cormorian military?
I'll think about it. Seriously.
He nods. Let me know if you do. There will be opportunities to speak to the right people when we reach the capital.
A career in public service is appealing to me. But I have a job to do before that. I really appreciate it. And Sir Spanbauer, I must say I was extremely impressed by your prowess in that combat. I have never seen a Celestial before.
I don't mean to blow my own trumpet too much, but yes, I found it rather underwhelming how my Celestial traded 1 for 2 with Githyanki acolytes.
Well, I hope to see you in full form at some point. If that is a disappointment, I will say.
You notice Samantha with a little smile as you say that. The action...
How are you two feeling? Wounds-wise, I know that was not an easy combat.
Samantha cracks her neck and extends a left arm to stretch. Fine.
I figured as much.
The single
You're tough. You stood toe-to-toe with a dragon today. I didn't do as much.
I believe you cut their ship in half.
Yeah, I did, but all thanks to the troops on the ground who allowed me the space to do so. I'm useless, if not for you.
You lay it on a bit thick. And she looks at you crossly and rolls her eyes, as if she knows that you're trying to get something from her, whether you are or not.
Well, we're victorious today on a field of battle, and we shared something. We're combat brethren, whether we like to be or not. And I trusted you with my life, and you trusted me with yours, and I think that says something. I just came up to congratulate you two. That's all.
You do so, finding that you have a certain camaraderie with Spanbauer that you didn't before. Samantha remains a bit chilly to you, Ada.
I'll nod and excuse myself.
Ada, a moment.
Oh, sure. Yoros, how are you?
Do you know message?
I don't.
So you didn't send me a message?
No, I prefer to do my talking to people who are within earshot with my mouth.
Ah, yes. The brawler's tongue.
I don't really know what you're talking about. Why, did something happen?
No. I want you to look at these things I picked up from Avery. I regret stashing them away. I feel they could have helped us. I don't know much about them. Maybe you can figure it out.
I'm going to glare at Euros.
The items are in the shared loot tab, by the way. I moved them off my tab.
This mace! We just fought 4 red drag... You know, it's okay.
What's wrong?
Oh, we just had a mace that confers fire immunity. The battle after. We fought 4 red dragons, you know? At least we have it now, but... I can't help but feel... This armor makes you immune to fire. You know? Now we have it, it's okay. Perhaps we should leave the armory duties to somebody else. I appreciate you bringing this up to me, Euros.
No, I think I'm perfectly in the position to handle the armory dealings. Because these were Flaming Fist distinguished goods, and none of you are Flaming Fist but myself. In hindsight... let me finish. In hindsight, we're not in Flaming Fist territory anymore, and technically I am, after much thinking, these items are under my jurisdiction. I could have leased them out.
And you'd hate to see us die in a fire, correctly?
Yes, not all of you.
Oh. We appreciate this sudden gift.
Euros,
Ada,
can you come here for a second?
I'm right here.
Will you let me try something? Will you trust me?
I feel like I owe you one, so yes.
I would like to create fire on Euros.
You create fire on Euros.
Do you feel that?
It's very toasty.
But you're not hurt.
I mean, I'm a little hurt that you tried to set me on fire.
Oh, Talger's here. You'd be fine.
So what are you trying to get at? Are you just trying
This mace confers immunity to fire resistance. You went toe-to-toe with Avery for quite a while. I was just confirming a suspicion.
I do recall getting hit in the stomach with it once or twice, yes.
Congratulations. You've leveled up.
Thinking what I'm thinking.
I hope so.
Please don't put it in the hands of Gasmir.
Probably not.
Why not?
I don't know if we should toy with this like it's a plaything.
Wouldn't you like to be immune to fire? Isn't that useful?
I would. I would give anything.
Give me the mace. I'd be happy to hit Mr.
No.
Tolkien repeatedly.
Give it to her.
I think we should just do this. This is a nice soldier's diversion after a fight.
Okay, but of all the people to hit you, you want Gasmir. I'm just being clear. You've seen her. You've seen her.
She seems the most willing.
I will point this out. If you want to wail on yourselves with the mace for this fire immunity, if I remember correctly, something similar is used to train Fist lieutenants. If you might be brandished as a Flaming Fist soldier if you're found out to be immune to fire.
There are other ways to be immune to fire. I doubt that.
Well, I don't know if it leaves a scar or anything. I can't take off my armor to check.
Promise I'll be gentle.
I would rather you not. I've seen those claws.
No claws. This time.
They're claws.
While the boys are playing, I'm going to go talk to Brenner.
Ada.
What position are you in? Are you supine?
Half supine. His back's still up against the wall. He's at this point between staring at the ring on his finger and the campfire ahead of him.
I'm going to sit down cross-legged next to you, so we're at eye level.
He'll look up to you, meet you at eye level.
How are you holding up?
Is it strange to say hopeful?
I get it.
How are you? See, you were unscarred.
I had it easy. But a lot of you gave me cover. We performed like a seasoned phalanx tonight.
You did him proud. They did me. He looks over his shoulder towards his two bannermen off doing whatever they're doing at the moment.
Elias stood toe-to-toe with 2 red dragons, even though it meant his certain death.
I know.
That's something.
He was my second in command for a reason.
He
And
certainly
now-
has the medal.
He bears the mark of the Iron Maid. I gave him this. I no longer am the captain of the Oswick Company. I have forsaken that title.
Do you think they're going to leave us now?
They're free to do so. I have no command over them anymore. And I
Brenner,
think
you may have given them the command, but emotionally you're still the captain. I think you know that. If you want them to pursue their own destiny, you have to tell them to do it.
he mulls on that deeply for more moments than would normally feel comfortable in conversation.
And I will say, they're desperate for their captain, even if it's in service of them. I've stood in for your role on this trip.
I'm sorry to have you wear that heavy crown.
Oh, I don't feel burdened. I'm a natural at it. But I think they and you would appreciate it more if it was you.
He looks back over to them. I suppose I should give them the catharsis.
You've
I
had
think-
yours. Give them theirs.
He looks back over towards Samantha and Evan. They're meant to be eyes on the ground with them, but they fought with us. They summoned whatever powers they had to fight alongside of us. As much as I would rather see Samantha in the ground, I don't think we could really manage.
I agree, and I don't think any of us can take Spanbauer.
In all of my time within the regiment, the Order of Torm, I heard what you said. I've never seen one summon a celestial eye. I agree. As he stands up, or reaches out as if to ask for you to help him up.
I will struggle to help you up, but I don't know how much help I would be. I'm a
Anything to
frail
ca-
woman.
Anything to help counterbalance him at this point, I assume, would do best. He has stumbled. I suppose I should send them on their way. Makes his way over to his two bannermen.
As you walk over, they both give a deep nod of respect, making you feel as if Ada was correct and that regardless of who is wearing the mantle, you are still the spiritual leader of the company that which still bears your name. Sala stands up and dusts herself off and gives you a small bow.
Sala. He locks eyes with Elias. And Iron Mane.
Elias grins as if he's still not used to that, nor will he ever will be.
You know what that name means. Perhaps your men will not call it by you, and give you a new iron moniker. My father was the Iron Star. I was the Iron Mane. I trust you'll find a new one.
He looks thoughtful for a moment, and Sala offers something up. The fox?
The Iron Fox.
Iron Fox. Elias looks a bit taken aback, but grins.
Brenner at this point has not smiled the entire day. This is the first time you see him brighten up at the evocation of this name. He swings his left arm heavily into Elias's shoulder. The Iron Fox, it is that.
He smiles, and there's a new emotion on his face. Embarrassment. He seems a bit taken aback by the attention and the sudden thrust toward being the head of an organization which he has given his life to. You do have the sense that they are still waiting for your instructions, your command.
I called you here to follow, be eyes on the ground, and you proved yourself in the face of dangers greater than even I, as he somewhat somberly looks at the arm missing from his shoulder, could withstand. And yet here you are. Your destiny is your own. If you wish to follow in tow, I am not the one to give you that command, Elias. You set your feet where they belong. And I know when you take that step forward, it will land where it needs to.
He nods. They look between each other. And Sala looks over to Elias and says, I think we should go to Arabel. Elias nods slowly, as if he's thinking this over. You had told them some of the things that had gone on there. Elias tells you there's only so many places that you can make a difference in the world. Why not go there now? In the morning. I think we'll set out. If our fate is our own, that's where I would like to go. Perhaps we'll see you there again.
I hope so. That is our final destination. We intend to return. We have comrades there. Far be it from me to ask anything of the Iron Mane. I have one last request. If they are well, or if they have fallen, send a hawk.
They?
The rest of the members of the Radiant Dawn.
Elias nods. The situation that you described is rather grave. He will send a messenger should you find that the Temple of the Radiant Heart has been hollowed out by the Flaming Fist. Toril spins.
I hope to see you again, Elias.
And
If not in the morning. If not in the morning, then in Arabel. Make your mark. As he turns on heel.
You do so.
I'm gonna take my sleeping bag and draw it away from the melee that's going to occur by the fire.
You do so.
Miss Worthware,
Gatsmere, yeah.
while we are doing this, perhaps you should ask Euros about the voices in his head.
What voices?
Gastmere doesn't say anything more, she just turns around to face Taldred.
I'm gonna approach. Yoris, what happened?
Ada,
Yoris, come on, don't be coy.
what are you talking about?
I said don't be coy.
I need you to elaborate. A lot of things are going on.
Gatsmere just said in front of you and me a statement that we both heard. Would you like me to repeat it, or are you smart enough to remember it? What's going on?
Sorry, I was lost in the, Anyway. I thought you heard me earlier, but apparently not. 3 voices. I thought it was nothing gold playing a prank with the stone she will not return. First one.
Explain it to me, please.
I am giving her a look and hoping she reciprocates with the stone.
She just smiles.
Anyway. The first one was in Sylvan, I believe. Couldn't quite understand it. It felt familiar. But I don't know what it said. Second one, Orcish, something. I don't know. I don't speak that language. Wasn't familiar, but it was vastly different from the first one. And then the third one was, well, it was a very good salesman voice. Not unlike Aldrin when he's trying to negotiate with a very nice bartender.
What were they selling?
Not really selling, but apparently my whatever contract deal or something. I don't know. But they said my contract is overdue for payment and to visit the Church of Shar for details.
Were all 3 of these voices in your head of commiserate length?
Ada, roll religion.
$17.
Church of Shar seems like, at best, a joke to you.
You said Church of Shar?
That is what I said, correct? Do I need to repeat it?
I just want to make sure you're not shortcutting or paraphrasing. Because if you're asking me, what is the Church of Shar, and why are they levying a collections fee?
Look, you and I both know that I don't know what paraphrasing means.
Can you still use magic?
I tested it with a message spell with nothing gold a moment ago, yes.
Greater than a cantrip. I can cast a cantrip without my channeling implement. And I thought your patron was the one that channeled magic with you. What do you use your favor with Shar for?
Wait, what?
Favor. You are some sort of follower of Shar?
No.
Certainly not Agma, so what were you doing with Shar?
I wasn't doing anything with Shar. Shar was given to me. Or, well,
By whom?
well, followers of Shar gave the armor to me, I guess. Let me back up.
Okay.
I have no association with Shar. I don't know what a Shar is.
Shar is the goddess of the night,
All that
and
is
not the
to
good
know.
one.
I didn't know there was a defined good and evil with these lollybouts, but very well.
Castamere is measuring this mace in her hands and she turns around slightly impatiently and says, "He's little more than an indentured servant, really. Clearly Avery made some manner of a deal. They gave him the armor. Avery was paying for it. Avery's dead. The payments are due."
To whom? And all warlocks are indentured servants.
She summed it up pretty well.
Due to Shar, I suppose.
Shar's not known to take warlocks, I thought.
Take or make?
What god would require payments? It's not like Joaquin.
I was gonna say, didn't Joaquin literally be a god of money?
Didn't we take a sword off the other one
We did.
that
Are you-
also required a tithe?
Didn't you sell it?
No, I think Ada currently has hunger, correct?
Oh. The sword off of
Lapaletsi?
Taldred has that.
Aldred
Aldred has that. So that doesn't make sense. Are you getting scammed, Yoros?
He does seem the type, does he not?
He seems the perfect type for it.
Indeed.
He's right there.
I. Should he not know?
Is there a way to view these sorts of contracts, Ada?
If it's a Gesh, the contract will be inscribed upon his soul. He should know. A Gesh, for those who don't know, I'm assuming you, Yoros, is a magically sealed contract leveraged against your soul. When you betray your contract, your soul punishes you commiserate to the scope of the infraction.
Is it possible that because he's not supposed to take off his armor, which represents this contract and this connection to Moss and Shar, that, well, he could be controlled? Like physically controlled.
Like a
Like
marionette.
puppeted.
Interesting thoughts.
I mean, that's what I would do.
I don't
Is
think
it?
you need the armor to do that, just a domination spell.
From a distance, though?
I'm concerned about who sent this message. And you said different ones in different languages. Did it feel like the same sentence, but in a different language? Were they testing? Because how would they not know what language you speak?
More so, if that's the case, how many more of you are there? They certainly wouldn't have given you, just you, this boon of whatever it is you do.
I don't know.
Disenchanting armor, or animating it certainly, is a very extreme deed. Would require a lot of magical prowess. I think this is a scam. Why else would they message Euros in 2 different languages that most people on Toril do not speak?
The power that he wielded was still entirely real, was it not?
Not arguing that.
I mean, Moss is Sylvan.
Moss is Sylvan.
Yes.
Perhaps while I test out this mace, you should select a target of your own and see if you can still do everything that you were capable of.
Where's Moss? Maybe this message was intended for Moss.
That would make sense.
That would make sense why the first message was in Sylvan. And then the second sounded like Infernal?
I thought it was Orcish, but I couldn't tell you.
I don't speak Orcish.
I don't either. That's why I don't know what it was.
Wonderful. Well, why don't you cast a spell and see how it feels? And I don't mean a cantrip. Those wizards in the bar could cantrip. Please don't kill Taldred.
I mean, I took
It's one of the ideas on the table tonight, so I just wanted to make sure.
Brenner up on the ship and took him back, and it felt fine.
We're just testing.
Okay.
I think at this point we've been at least short rested for warlock spell slot purposes, correct?
Yeah.
Certainly.
Okay. Well, I guess I will just do what I did earlier, and I will dimension door myself over to the horses. See what happens.
You surge with power from the shadowy if you appear where you intend.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not worried. Any more than I usually would be.
Do you remember that tab the innkeep opened for us, for Mr. Taldred, I believe?
We paid that.
Yes, but my point is, perhaps there is a tab that he has just added to.
It was a dark thought.
Why would I add to a tab of a barkeep?
I understand what you're saying, Gasmir. I think it's
Yes.
worthwhile to know if my spells would work before combat. But point taken, I think that every spell we cast from these vile sources levies attacks against our soul.
This might be more literal than some of the other ones.
All the more reason to burn Zental Keep to the ground.
Could not agree more.
Isn't it underground? So when you burn it up to the ground?
Can
Okay.
anyone think of anyone who might know more about these sort of things? Perhaps someone in the city that we're headed to.
I know no one in Suzanne.
I know a few, but
Nah.
I think we should rest. If you're going to beat Taldred up, I think the time is now.
Mr. Talton?
Before you go, Brenner stands up, struggling to get the shield off of his back, and presents it to you. I'm not going to be doing a lot of defending with only one arm. Until I get another. Can you keep this safe?
I assume that's Taldred.
That is Taldred, correct, yeah. He's presenting to you Alan, Shield of the West.
Taldred says, I'll do my best.
Trust you with it.
The point is, to hit you now, I don't recommend you use it quite yet.
No, I won't.
I assume you'd like me to avoid hitting your face.
If you hit me in the face, I will kill you.
You could try.
I imagine so.
Promises, promises. Well, let's get this over with.
You do not have to roll the 2-hit roll, as Taldred is allowing you to hit him. However, you do have to roll the damage and suffer the effects.
Taldred is wearing the crown still, so he takes half fire damage as well.
What's the regular damage of a mace? It's a plus 20 for the fire damage, but what's the regular
It's D6.
D6. And I'm not gonna rage because she did say that she's gonna go easy.
Can't rage if you're joyful.
Ooh, half of the fire damage, was it?
Yes, you can
Yes.
give it to Taldred, D6 plus your strength, and just have the fire damage for him. And then you'll have to roll this D6 and keep doing this until you get a 1.
8 points of fire damage and 3 points of regular damage. 6 points of regular damage, sorry, I still need to add my strength.
Taldred, Lissa Gasmere smacks you in the torso with this mace. You briefly catch on fire.
So since this is happening and like all eyes are kind of on Taldred, I suppose maybe now someone might notice that Taldred doesn't even really flinch from this. What was the total damage?
I think it was 8 points of fire damage. That's already halved because I rolled quite high on that, and then 6 points of
It was 14. Yeah.
bludgeoning.
Yes, bludgeoning.
He doesn't flinch from the strike or the fire, or both.
Either.
I'm reminded of watching fraternity activities in wizard school. This feels like it.
Perhaps one of you should hold up burning twig or something of the sort, and you can pass your hand over it to test if it's working. Unless you'd rather just keep doing this for a while and then we'll test it.
There's a fire right there.
Wait, did we already roll the 1d6?
Is that the same D6 I already rolled, or?
No, this is a new.
Separate.
Yes, exactly. Yes, this is a separate D6 you're just rolling for the chance to give him fire immunity.
Nothing yet. I rolled a 3. Can I smack him again if it seems like he's still burning from the fire like he's not meant to be doing? Okay, that's only 1 point of fire damage this time. I'm already halving these, and 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Taldred, Gastmere hits you in the ribs with a mace.
Taldred exhales.
She kind of walks into like a really slow circle around him while she's doing this, and she's gonna smack him again from the side. Wait, I didn't roll a d6. Well, I'm gonna smack him anyways. That's no fire resistance. Still gonna hit him. So, ooh, 9 points of fire damage. That's already halved, and another 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Taldred, where's your HP? How you looking?
64.
And I rolled a 5, so no fire resistance yet. Mac from the backside.
You realize that you have an audience, Gastmere, as the paladins crane their necks, wondering exactly what it is you're doing over here.
3 points of fire damage and 1 point of... No, wait. 4 points of bludgeoning damage, because I keep forgetting my strength modifier, and...
What was the fire damage?
4. That's a 6, so no. Fuck. How are you feeling?
Flammable.
That's a terrible state to be in. Let's try and fix that. 7 points of bludgeoning damage and another 4 points of fire damage. Can't fucking believe this die. It's a 4, so no.
This time you hit him in the femur. Taldred, Lissa Gastmere hits you with a mace. Nothing gold. You watch as Lissa Gastmere smacks the shit out of Taldred Talton.
You could be getting paid for this, you know.
I feel like this is therapeutic for her.
I could, yes. I don't think he's going to, however.
I think actually Nothing Gold sends a message to Maris just to say, tell her that this is happening. You won't believe what my party is doing right now.
That is 9 points of fire damage, already halved, and 3 points of bludgeoning.
Taldred
Oh, wait.
holds up a hand
Fuck.
for a second.
Sorry, the bludgeoning is not halved. The bludgeoning is 7 points.
Okay, 1 second. Taldred holds up a hand for a second. And he spits out a little bit of blood, and he's gonna cast the heal.
Ah, that's a fucking 5. Oh my god. We're going to be here all night.
Right.
Beat this up.
I think I can cast...
That's 1
Yeah.
point of fire damage.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Beacon of Hope to start with.
And 8 points of bludgeoning.
Hold up. So I get full heal amount. So let's do level 2 Cure Wounds, which is going to be 26 healing.
2D+, okay, yeah.
I'm quite certain that you're feeling up to this.
There is
This could take a
nothing I
while.
want more than this.
Perhaps Miss Worthware has lied to us, and this is in fact a regular mace, says Gasmere and whacks him again.
Then I think you have to thank me afterward, don't you, Gasmere? Looks like both of you are enjoying this.
9 points of bludgeoning damage and 7 points of fire damage.
In the words of Gasmere, he does seem the type.
I'm sorry, how
God.
much fire damage again?
Did I say 7? I already forgot.
I'll just assume 7 then.
Yeah, sorry, I already picked up the die, and I have a memory of a goldfish apparently when it comes to numbers, so... And no fire resistant, that was a 4, so...
Taldred's gonna heal for, how much is that, 17? 17 from a Cure Wounds.
That is 1 point of fire damage, I rolled a 1. And 5 points of bludgeoning.
51.
That's a 3. Cry.
Lord.
How is this possible?
Ada, you're having a hard time relaxing with the constant sound of mace on flesh.
I'm gonna heal again for 17.
I'm beginning to feel like I should hit you harder. Perhaps this is too much of a light tap. Ugh. 8 points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of fire damage. I cannot fucking believe it. I'm swapping this die out. It's a 6 again. Let's take this one. You love ones, right?
Are we certain this thing even works without the hand of a fist?
That's a good point. It's
Are you
entirely
trying to
possible.
encourage Euros to hit him?
Just
It's
probing.
working. I can feel it.
Let's just try this one more time. With
Is
feeling,
Casimir gonna
says
have-
Gaspman. She's gonna rage.
take a rest. Oh shit.
She actually doesn't grow claws this time. Her hands are full. She, like, when she says rage, her mouth kind of extends a bit too far, kind of like snakes do, and she's got, like, a maw full of fucking really, like, long, sharp teeth. That is... Yes, now I get rage bonus. Damn, that was a terrible idea. 9 points of bludgeoning damage, and... That's only 2 points of fire damage, though. It's a 1!
Oh, thank God.
After she rages, that's pretty funny, actually.
Let's die.
So here, oh God, could we say it goes this way? Gastimer rages and she actually hits fucking Taldred in the face.
Yes.
Yes.
And he's so indignant, but he feels the fire immunity. Like he feels it somehow.
You can.
And he looks up and he's mad as fuck. And he shoots daggers at Gastamir, but then he looks the fire and he puts his hand on the fire.
You feel nothing.
Asmir is breathing heavily, and like you can kind of see her muscles are a bit more outlined as well, and she's still bearing those horrible teeth, and she's heaving her breath in, and then she kind of spits to the side, and it comes out this really kind of a nasty looking ichor that you've occasionally seen from wounds when she's doing damage. And she takes a
Taldred
moment to
just-
like calm down.
Taldred lifts one of the logs in the fire. He looks at it. He says, "I'll never see you in my nightmares again." He drops it back on the fire.
You do so. Sparks fly around you.
I'm glad to see it worked, says Gasmir, and she drops the mace and runs her hands through her hair and turns around and walks off.
You walk off with a bit of flair.
Taldred immediately begins healing his cheek. And just like really rubbing it in, make sure everything's good.
You do so.
Okay.
I'd like to do the rest of this in future. Perhaps a bit more hearty and hale. And Brenner will move towards his sleeping roll for the night.
Taldred's gonna walk away from the party for a second.
You do so, but you know you're not alone. Someone is with you.
Naturally. He's just gonna lean up against one of the trees and look around.
Roll perception.
And, alright, fuck it. I wasn't really looking around, but why not? 24.
You catch a silent owl. It flies past you, making no sound at all.
As far as Taldred's concerned, that's a sign of good luck. So, Taldred is going to cast Sending.
You cast Sending.
And he is going to say, I've already counted this out. He's going to say, Sabine, it's Taldred. I'll be in Suzale tomorrow. I feel confident you can find me.
You do so, sending your message far to Suzale.
And then he's going to go to sleep. I think he would take the one next to Brenner so he can keep an eye on him.
Well,
You do so. Is the party sleeping?
I think Nothing Gold, before they go to bed, will circle back around to Brenner and say, just so you know, if we are serious about this endeavor, there is something that we'll need. Material, really.
go on.
I don't know. Well, I do know where to get one, but it would be many, many days away. But we need something from the heartwood. An acorn, like seed, something that will sprout.
That makes sense. You said it would be many days away. I don't know where this heartwood is.
Well, I, of course, do not condone, and in fact rather hate that this is the case, but the black market might have it, or we may see somebody traveling who could point us to a closer grove. As much as I'd love to see my sisters again, I don't know if we can spare the time.
Then we have a thread to go on. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you sleep well.
More than ever, Brenner hopes the same.
And she'll go set up her hammock in a tree. Sorry, one more thing. Do the paladins eat? Have they eaten?
You've observed them as you move, eating what must barely remain of their rations. They carry iron rations on their person.
Okay. Alright, that's all she wanted to confirm, and then she'll go set up her hammock.
Any further instructions before the party coalesces around sleep? A watch order? Don't take this as me prompting you. Anything like that I should know? Or do you sleep perchance to dream?
I think Taldred would take first watch.
I don't think Brenner is of able body and mind to take watch at this point.
Yes, maybe we'll take watch.
That's two people.
I'll take watch as well.
The three of you will split the watch. With only three of you in the morning, each of you will be rather exhausted. Is that reasonable?
It's fine by me. Just conjure up some of that coffee.
Fair enough. No.
Nothing Gold. Can you take a watch? I need to study my spell book.
But I have so much to do tonight. Alright. Sure, I'll be up anyway.
The four of you take a watch.
I broke a spell jammer today. I need a moment to regain my concentration.
I don't doubt that, but I have a lot to do tomorrow when we get to Suzale.
I'm sure you do.
Well, if we split the watch, we'll all be ready for tomorrow.
You know what, Nothing Gold? If you feel too tired when your watch comes, just wake me up.
I won't, but thank you. With affection, like she's smiling, but
You check your watches. As you sleep dreamlessly. Somewhere in your mind's eye, Ari is flashing your gold at a tavern keeper to start a tab that she does not intend to pay. The clouds spread. The moon is ominously missing from the sky tonight. In the morning, you awaken on September 8th. One moment. You awaken to realize that the Oswick Company must have left early in the morning. Brenner, you may be the only one that knows exactly where they've gone. The Paladins have taken the liberty of preparing the cart for the morning. The actions with the party.
I have an across the table question.
Okay.
Is this route being embraced?
Is what being embraced?
The route being embraced is. Are we level 13 now, and is everything
Yes.
across the table the case?
Yes.
12. Sorry, 12, yeah.
You, just so that, yes, everybody with an exception is level 12. Someone out there is level 13.
I totally forgot about that.
Whoop.
Do it. I mean, the break is coming, so do it during the break.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, no shit. Okay.
I think Brenner. This is the reason I asked. Brenner woke up early in the morning. He set his helmet to his side, and somewhat clumsily has taken a blade from his pack and shaved his beard. You've seen it. It's massive. It's the type of beard someone would have had they not shaven in a decade. His non-dominant hand has caused a few nicks of blood to swell on his shaven flesh. He puts his thumb to where these blood pools. A hiss arrives, as if steam was produced, and the blood is no more.
Do we notice that?
I don't think Brenner notices that.
I'll just roll perception.
Sounds reasonable.
No, I don't notice.
You don't. You're too busy eyeing up Taldred, wondering when and if he's going to do his breakfast ritual.
He has definitely already started.
Taldred, you can tell that this ritual is starting to aggravate the Paladins. Your profligacy and use of magic to do little more than satiate you and your friends with exotic meats does not go unnoticed.
Perhaps
Well,
today.
when Taldred sees them eyeing him up, he says, "I expect you to eat today."
They both stare icily at you. Taldred, you realize that they must know who you are.
What?
What indeed?
And why wouldn't they?
With a mug that incredibly handsome, who wouldn't?
Do we have an idea as to how long it will take us for the rest of this journey to Zazale? Are we arriving there today, or is that
You'll be
in
there,
future?
you'll be there today. You assume that you will travel a bit further down the road, 40 miles, not too bad on mixed horseback, and you will arrive there within the day.
At the very least, perhaps we catch an early breakfast there. They helped us, Taldred. They took up arms. It's very possible that this will be the last moment that we are on good terms.
They took up arms because they were in the same basket we were.
It's a tenuous alliance.
They would have been even more useful if they would have eaten that morning.
Maybe. But they put their life on the line just like we did.
They could
Regardless
have
of the-
always performed a tactical retreat, and they did not.
They deserve at least some leniency, I think.
Leniency. I'm trying to feed them. I'm trying to help them. What
Can't
could
help.
be more lenient?
Can't help people who don't want to be helped, Aldred. I think you know that.
I don't.
Fair enough.
Maybe they just crave the delicacies of Suzanne instead of the more robust meats that you're conjuring up. Sometimes simplicity is best, and that's what somebody desires.
It is allegedly their hometown.
Taldred actually sees some wisdom in what Yoros just said, and he thinks about that. And he calls out to them, and he says, "Is there something in particular you'd like? I can add it."
Aye, I'd like you to hurry the fuck up.
It's not how it works.
I mean, that's what he requested.
Perfection takes time.
Not if you're good at it.
On a different topic entirely, do we intend to make use of Euros' gift, besides to beat Mr. Holton in the face, which was incredibly satisfying, I might add, but
You're welcome.
Maybe I fear the mace more than I fear fire in the future.
If you keep letting Casimir swing it, sure.
I'm sure somebody else could swing it.
You seem you're pretty into it. I wouldn't want to take this from you.
Can
If
we talk
let
about the other?
Nothing Gold swing it.
Can she lift it?
What kind of swing?
Nothing Gold.
Mm.
You could swing the mace, could you not?
Do I want to?
Isn't the
Do
mace
you
as
want
big as
to?
her?
Would it not be useful for the rest of us to be immune to fire as well?
I don't know that I see the wisdom in making yourself immune to the damage you could cause. It seems to be the one limit that I have, at least.
Anyway, Ada, what were you saying?
There are other things on this manifest that we can dole out in a erudite manner. And Gasmir, your point does not go unheard, but at the beginning of the day I think is a poor time. Perhaps during the next rest, we can decide somebody else to get this boon.
Yes.
We'll need
Sounds quite
Taldred to be at full
reasonable.
strength. This Gorget, who is now the person in the largest amount of danger.
I rather think it should go to the person who repeatedly puts themselves in the most amount of danger.
Would Gasmir even wear this?
Gasmir?
It's quite gaudy.
I would say it's gaudy. I'd say it's quite practical looking. And yes, I would wear something because protecting one's neck does allow you to get more reckless in
Why don't
combat.
you protect the neck of the person who's missing an arm?
I don't think we're going to be frontlining Brenner anytime soon.
I don't think you have that choice.
Of course I have a choice.
As do I. Casimir, if you feel it won't clash. As he ghostly waves across his chest as if to evoke your own. It's
Yes,
yours.
can we...
One of us should definitely wear it.
I'm saying, if you want it, it's yours. You've proven yourself all too much.
And if we really want it on something else, I can weave that into an enchantment.
Could I suggest this ring for myself?
I was gonna say, give it to you. Your legs seem a little worn out.
I would actually like that ring as well.
Oh, while you discuss that, I shall take this item and we will see if we can duplicate this effect.
Aldred, I see your prowess on the battlefield is more reactive than proactive, and I am the
It
most
has
proactive
been.
person here.
Well, I would, believe me, I would prefer to be proactive. There are many abilities that I have that if they are applied ahead of everything else, they would make things much smoother for us.
Such as?
Well,
I mean, we've
Any
seen
of
Ada's fireballs. I don't know that I've seen you do anything to make our adventure more smooth.
And I take offense to that.
I beg your pardon. And Taldrid is like this is happening. Like this has happened. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Nobody.
It's not
doubts
okay.
Aldred's okay.
I'm sorry. Who pulled you out of that goddamn fire in Arabel that you started in the first place?
That I started.
Yes.
I'm not saying that you are not effective. I am merely asking that you explain to me why you want the ring.
I'm explaining why I would like to be able to apply many of my abilities, like my blessings, for example, that work best if they are done ahead of combat. And normally, I am able to apply them ahead of combat, but we happen to get into trouble at the drop of a hat, it seems.
Okay, so if I understand, our choices, we can be proactively aggressive with Ada or proactively defensive with Taldred.
I wouldn't say what I have in mind is defensive.
No?
Taldred,
No,
can you be
certainly not.
less cryptic? I'm not
I'm
exactly
trying to.
unlearned.
Well, for example, my blessings, for example, which make everybody in the party more powerful offensively.
I meditated over the last night, and I feel like I've come to a breakthrough where I can cast 2 spells in the first turn of combat. Both of which will have doubled efficacy.
So, as you two argue, I'm just gonna walk over to Brenner and put my hand on his shoulders.
Which one?
Brenner. The good one.
Okay.
Brenner, your words weren't lost on me last night. I was just a bit distracted. Thank you, but these burdens aren't all your own. On that ship, we were both trying our best. And then I will just start heading towards the cart.
Brenner silently nods to you.
You know what? It's fine, Taldred. Just take it. You can prove to us why you deserve it.
I mean no offense. I feel like you know that.
I know, but I'm not interested in this argument, and what motivates me are not trinkets. What motivates me are the death of Tierney Fang.
Let's see it through.
The same.
Let's see it through. We're all the same team here.
Goal. I mean full offence in the sense that Miss Worthware should be taking full offence on the first round as quickly as possible. And open with a volley, which is why I think she deserves the ring.
I second it.
Fair enough. I will secede to a vote.
At this point, Yaros is left. Hi. I'm sorry, Brett. Christ. I'm sorry, Taldred. I do agree.
That's all right. I just want what's best for the group. And if this is what everyone thinks it is, then obviously I will agree.
Are any of these other items of interest to you? Perhaps you'd like to be the one to wield a mace?
Not really a weapon guy.
I've become quite partial to this as he stamps the spear into the ground. At this point, it feels like I've swung this thing more times than my father's blade. And speaking of which, if I could get some assistance among a lot of you. I am no longer the Iron Mane. I don't have to wear the yoke of the shackle anymore. Those Githyanki.
Get the Yankee.
They wore a silvered armor. I don't mean to dismiss your painting, Nothing Gold. It is a bit in tatters as it stands anyway.
I'll squire for you, Brenner. I'll help you.
Thank you.
While I completely ineffectually fuddle with the straps and braces on an armor because I've never worn any, I will say, Brenner, I think you should just hold the mace as is anyway. You may find the spear a little bit unwieldy in your current state. I'm sure we'll fix you up, but just for now.
Perhaps.
Does anybody disagree with this?
Not really my area of expertise.
Across the table, we are speaking of the Flaming Fist mace, not the Judgment mace, correct?
Whichever you want.
No, Brenner absolutely does not want the Judgment mace. He is incredibly averse to it.
There's also a silver mace +2.
Bunch of lances, apparently.
A bit unwieldy. Keeping one on the cart might be prudent if we ever find ourselves in mounted combat, but dragging around a 15-foot lance, I can tell you on the ground, is no small feat.
Nothing Gold.
Yes.
Do you know how to read the arcane writings?
Of?
Do you know how to write the language of magic and read it?
Yes, I'm self-taught, so there are going to be gaps in my knowledge, but I'm fairly...
When we get to Suzail, we should load this other ring up with a spell. I can't wear it now. I have 2 rings. And I have learned how to cast 2 spells in the first round of... the first volley of combat. I think this would be best served with you. We currently have this wonderful artifact we're not using. We should go scroll shopping together.
That would be lovely.
I know most of your skills are with dealing with people, but there are some people who can't be talked down, and I think you would benefit the most from some efficacy in this department.
I think if they can't be talked down, it's because we're not speaking the same language, but yes, I get what you mean.
We have some pride in this group, and it stands to reason that we will get in fights that could be avoided in the future.
We already have.
That's what I'm referencing. Is there anything else? There are many pieces of metal on the ground here.
Perhaps we sell the rest. No one wants the rest.
Gasmir,
This-
do you not wear this metal?
I do not wear armor. I find it cumbersome.
It may prove to be difficult to sell this one as he taps the flame guard. Outside of that, though, most of this is admittedly nondescript, if not silver. And I assume you, as he looks to Taldric, could probably fetch quite a good price between a lot of them.
When we get to Suzail, that might be possible.
I think there's some wisdom in not carrying around Githyanki steel. They reclaim their prizes.
Well, let's make that someone else's problem then.
I totally agree.
Should mention the Githyanki will be back. Salune revealed as much to me.
Oh, you spoke to her last night.
Somewhat.
That's concerning.
Do you know
I
when?
agree. No, that was not revealed to me.
We've extracted a heavy price from them. I imagine they'll try and extract a heavy price from us.
They've already done that, but I'm sure it's not enough for them.
I wonder... Are they motivated by revenge as a people?
I don't know that much about them. They're regimented and militaristic. I imagine they wouldn't suffer a loss very easily. I wish we had killed that captain.
As do I. But we did our best.
We did.
What manner of creature is not motivated by revenge?
Well, I just don't see the point in sending more people to be slaughtered after us. It was also made clear from the logs that Ada recovered from the ship that they also have dealings with the Church of Shar.
I thought we've made it apparent there is no Church of Shar.
Yes, exactly.
So this would be to state that there is at least some entity out there calling themselves the Church of Shar. This is twice we've heard of it.
Agreed.
I could ask Maris about it when I see her.
What would a Cyric worshipper know about Shar? I think you get more information from Taldred.
Concerning what?
Shar is Solune's sworn enemy.
Correct.
I imagine a supplicant of Selune would know more about Shar than a supplicant of Cyric.
I imagine somebody on the Black Network would know more about the Church of Selune than Taldred, who presumably is not.
What?
You're not Zentarum, right?
The Zentarum
No.
worship Cyric.
Not anymore.
What do you mean not anymore?
Like I said, there are factions among the Zentarum.
Was your friend a worshipper of Shar?
In a way.
Forcibly. Interesting. Okay, maybe you're right then.
Another thread we can follow.
Indeed. And maybe Yoros' scam is more widespread than we thought.
Did everybody who cast magic that we could see among the Flaming Fists, they weren't wearing armor exactly like Yoros. But I guess they wouldn't because you are the vessel of Moss. Vessel is a very concerning word. Again, because that is a thing that can be filled.
Agreed.
Yes, and it does appear quite empty most of the time.
Ada will laugh at that openly. That's a great question. Yoros, do you know the primary source of magic in the fist?
Your boy walked off to the cart.
Oh, he doesn't like getting razzed. Alright. Well, I think this is a mystery that will reveal itself to us as we walk down the road.
I would agree.
Yes, we lack information currently. We need more.
Are any of you versed in Thieves' Cant?
Oh, they tried to teach me. I couldn't do it. And
Well, not just the language between people, but the marks that are left on buildings or waypoints. Just keep an eye out for anything interesting. It may be hidden in plain sight, as it were.
By the way, so everyone knows, I spent some time memorizing a spell that can locate a person within a city.
Good.
So, if we have use of that when we get to Zale, I just want to let you know my capabilities.
That's right, you're familiar with Suzail, so they do have a temple to Cyric there?
I imagine they do at this point.
Was it always to Cyric, or was it repurposed?
There always was a temple to Cyric, but it did not always operate in the open.
Alright.
I would assume that given our meeting later today, we're about to barge right in. Ryder finally stands up, clad in the new Githyanki armor with the assistance of Ada. We should probably be off.
I agree. Lest the paladins summon a celestial to kill us.
Everybody going? Everybody ready to go? Any further business here before you set off for the day?
Oh, I guess we just ate,
Did you?
I suppose.
Tell me more about it.
Well, because Taldred summoned the Heroes Feast.
Who eats the heroes?
I
feast?
assume we had that conversation while we were eating.
Yes, that sounds perfectly reasonable. I think that's a great expectation for these.
And I'll roll the
Temporary HP?
6. I gotta check it. Hold on. Two D10. 1 sec. $10. Y'all get 10 maximum HP. I am curious. Was I able to get Samantha and Evan to eat?
Absolutely not.
Well, Taldred will try.
Regardless of how much you exhort them, they are unwilling to partake in your food, Taldred. Would you
Taldred
like?
says this isn't just about decadence, okay? This is about nourishment. This is about being ready. As soldiers, how can you not do everything in your power to be prepared for a fight?
Roll insight.
$30-20.
You realize two things. One, you think back as the paladins do their best to ignore you. You remember something that they called you, a profligate, and you know that under the laws of ancient Cormyr, many adventurers are looked down upon, particularly those who would declare allegiance to a mercenary company. Go ahead.
Taldred says, I feel like you are splitting hairs right now, okay? It's like I worked with a mercenary company to be able to move around undetected by the Zentarum so that I could help this country, all right?
Would it if you had this passion an hour ago when we wanted to leave? Thank you for your input to help the country after we've been doing nothing but watching you chat.
I won't be looked down upon by fucking kneelers.
What did you just say?
I called you kneelers because
All
you
right,
were
all right.
perfectly ready to sit down and break bread with the Zent, but you won't sit at my fucking table and break bread with me.
Evan Spanbauer takes a step towards you, Taldred. It's unsurprising to me that someone like you doesn't understand something like a command hierarchy. It's very simple. Here in the civilized world, we do kneel to certain people. I know that may offend your sensibilities, but I won't eat at your table.
It is very simple. You lost to the Zentarum because you're weak.
One moment, let me roll something. Go ahead. You were going to say something, Euros?
You trying to defend your cooking that bad?
It is not about the food.
It's the principal, Euros.
Samantha puts her hand on the hilt of her sword. Spanbauer puts an arm in front of her to stop her. I think you should think very carefully about exactly what it is you're doing here.
I don't have to think, because I was in Suzail when they besieged that city, and I watched them butcher men, women, and children. And the fact that you would parlay with those people, but not me. How am I supposed to take that exactly?
Samantha looks over at her captain. Oh, he watched.
I didn't watch, I did something about it.
Yeah? What exactly did you do? Obviously, it wasn't terribly effective because there's a little more than a mouth on you.
Well, first of all, I was there, and I was not a guard. I was not part of the Purple Dragon Knights, but I still fought to defend that city. And it appears that you didn't do much better if the city fell.
Fell. I think you'll see that it's in quite good repair. We're going to be there today.
You can't repair the damage they did to that city or this country. Not while they still sit at the helm.
Here's a quick question. Has anyone here ever seen this one strike down one of his enemies? Does any of this make sense to the lot of you?
It did.
Go ahead. Try to imagine Taldred Talton putting down a vast Zent army. Does this strike anyone else as a bit ridiculous?
It strikes truer than your fucking words, Samantha. I've seen this man stride into the realm of not 20 flaming fists, and from him and his divine connection with his god, struck them down, kept us living, upright, whole, hale.
Brenner. Samantha cruelly looks at your shoulder. I think all of this language about striking true is about the only striking true you're going to be doing anymore.
That's too far.
Ugra goes, psst. I'm looking at nothing gold.
Should I tell them that both of their dicks are like huge? Will that?
There's nothing you can do, but when a combat starts and you're one of us, you have to step back.
Let's calm this down a bit, can we?
Yes, this seems like a waste of energy. A waste of rage as well, really. I mean, it is entertaining to a degree, but weren't we all eager to get moving?
I just don't want to eat your food, Brenner. It's okay.
Taldred.
Yes.
Aldred. Sorry. I highly
That's exactly what concerns me.
Well, maybe they want something lighter. Soldiers don't always want a full stomach. It's not that big of a deal.
Look at her, she's a fucking rail. You telling me she's not hungry?
Samantha does look rather gaunt and dirty. I spit on your food. And you as well.
We'll deliver you to Maris. But know this, Samantha. We'll see who strikes true.
Aye, we will. Now let's go. She seems extremely unimpressed. Ada, make a wisdom saving throw.
$22.
You get the impression that this combat would be rather bloody. The actions with the party.
Ada does not think we can take Spanbauer.
I mean, at this point, when he said this, Brenner is stating, "We'll take you to Maris and Suzail." He's shaking the reins rather angrily at this point. Even if his words are steely, his actions might not be.
Getting ready to go.
Nothing Gold will sort of psst back at Ada. When they're talking about chain of command, do you know who they're reporting to at this point?
I imagine it's all in their heads. Much like the nation of Suzail. Sorry, Cormir.
Well, Evan Spanbauer clearly thinks he's reporting to somebody.
Maybe I'll ask him.
Please do, not me. They hate me.
He did mention he could put me in connection with people, so there's got to be more of them. And I imagine the Zentarum will send the last thing standing between them and grasping Cormyr with their entire gloved hand into the jaws of Suzea later on this week. Can we take a fiver?
I'd love to.
Gamer.
They're doing a redo of the near replicant and automata banners on reincarnation,
Mm-hmm.
and they added new costumes for 2B and Near.
Oh no.
And for Near, he's just called, well, his official title in the game is World Ender, and the title of his costume is just Alternate Lad. It's pretty funny,
I'm
and he
expecting
just
that.
yeah, and his weapon is just a stronger Phoenix spear.
Nice.
I'll send you a picture. I managed to pull him.
Congrats.
And then 2B is just another thirst trap costume.
I also would expect no less. Oh yeah. Look what my brother got me.
I actually think Nier's costume looks sick as fuck. I'm sorry, I didn't see. What did he get you? Oh, hell yeah, look at that.
Ooh.
I'm quite pleased. The pop-up parade of Makoto.
Yeah.
I went over to his house yesterday. He's just like, Merry Christmas. This never came in until now. And I was like, oh shit. Thanks. Not gonna lie to you, I had prepared a number of things for this session that did not pan out the way that I anticipated. I really expected us to have a dream sequence.
It's okay, I don't plan for anything. I just know I'm gonna get bullied.
Non-stop bullying.
Yeah,
Hey, Browner gave you like a butt pat.
I know. He's never gonna wash that butt again.
Please wash your butt.
But you touched it.
Okay.
Dude, real talk though, nothing hits harder than a fucking like peanut butter sandwich with jalapeno chips on it. It's so good.
Ooh.
I don't think I've ever tried that. I've tried like peanut butter and chips, but not specifically jalapeno. Usually like basic bitch Lay's for some crunchy texture.
Yeah, it's the kettle cook jalapenos.
Mm.
It's a nice little kick. I I got the low sodium crunchy peanut butter. That shit's actually pretty good.
I am 100% on board with Peter Pan now. That's my peanut butter of choice.
I got GIF.
Hey, Falmari, just to confirm, Brenner gave up his armor?
Correct, yes. It
Okay,
is.
so I'll take back that infusion. And then, hey, Mike.
Hi.
Would NG's project on the daggers be done?
Yes. I will provide you, as we've discussed, a upgraded dagger of Gastmere. Actually, if you give me a second, give me 2 minutes.
Okay. And there's a like a visual description that I can give.
Why don't we team up later and synthesize this into a single item then? So I will not give out the item yet. Let's finalize it first. If you're okay waiting until like
Yes, of course.
Okay, cool.
Useless spells. Does anybody need their drink or food purified?
There might be time.
Yeah, if
Ritual.
Samantha ever hands you something, might be good.
Keep turning it around for 10 minutes before I actually eat it, yes.
So, there's a heated moment before you get ready to leave. Is that correct? It sounds like, are swords coming out, or are we apprehensively going down the road together?
I think sabers were
Apprehending,
rattled,
yeah.
but we are going down the road.
Exactly, yeah.
It is September 8th. You travel south. The road is well maintained here. You pass by a long supply train of flaming fist wagons. Easily 40 soldiers, mostly irregulars, traveling north. Many are not wearing armor. They talk amongst themselves as they push their horses. You overhear a conversation about the wine country south of Arabel. Taldred, you suddenly hear someone familiar in your head. First Arabellan may be unable to come up with the funds on such a short notice, but... And then suddenly it is gone. On the horizon, where the river meets the sea...
Do I recognize the voice?
Sounded like Walt Forbes, didn't it?
Okay.
Where the river meets the sea, Taldred, you can start to see the outline of a city. You've been here before. Ada, you've been here before. You approach the city of Suzail, the former capital of ancient Cormyr and a current outpost of the Zentarim. There is a massive castle that looms over the city. Lissagasmir reminds you of one of the walking statues of Waterdeep, except here the protection is the royalty itself. On the southern end of the city, there's a ship distantly pulling up onto a loading pier. You can see thick white bellows of smoke from the southern end of the city, and you can see massive temples and gardens surrounding the castle that form together the north abutment of the city where you arrive. One moment. You find yourself somewhere new. You see a high wall of limestone that must be well maintained by trained masons. High on the wall, there are purple and black banners. If you've ever traveled in this lane before, that is certainly new. There are 3 guards watching prominently from up on the wall. One is missing her eye, and another has a vertical scar across his cheek. They wield long halberds. At the gate, there are 3 customs agents interrogating the glacial foot traffic heading through this gate. Spanbauer and Ruthenberg both hail the guards up top on the wall, and you hear one with a full face helmet call down, muffled. Captain, Lieutenant. They both walk through the gate. The action is with the party.
I have a feeling we're going to have less of an easy time.
Or with them, right? Can't we just walk in with them?
Do you think they would be willing to argue in our favor?
Unlikely, and we're not wearing the colors. Just tell them we have things to sell. Show them some of the merchandise we got.
We do.
Back when they were out of...
Roll perception. Sorry to interrupt. Roll perception.
Everyone?
Everybody.
In front of me or behind me?
In front of you.
14.
7.
gonna be less than 10. I think it's a 7 as well.
13.
18?
Euros?
Yes.
It's a 10. It landed on 18 and then it quickly rolled over to a different number.
Nothing gold, you're the only one that noticed this.
Sorry, I'm 17.
17. Nothing gold and Ada, you're the only ones that noticed this. Sorry, I thought you already gave me a low.
I did, but I got it wrong.
I see. Okay. You both notice that Ruthenberg and Spanbauer went through the gate and immediately headed west. And I'm sorry, Nothing Gold, you were saying something.
She has wild shaped into a cat.
You're Cat Gold. What type
Brenner
of...
is
Tell me more. What type of cat are you? Describe your cat self.
She's kind of like a soft towny brown with like stripes that form rings, kind of like tree rings. And very big, very vivid green eyes.
Party. You've become rather used to Nothing Gold becoming something else suddenly, and that has happened once again. Euros, you were saying something, I believe? No? Brenner? Someone?
I think it was Brenner. Brenner should be at least used to the heraldry of the Purple Dragon Knights. This looks like an adulteration of this, correct?
That is correct. Yes, you have seen plenty of purple dragon banners before. You've never seen this black one accompanying them.
He marches the cart up slowly towards the gate, expecting to be hailed at some point.
The guards are watching you but do not hail you. Instead, the customs agent sits up from where he was studying your approach and locks eyes with you. Go ahead
I
and
desire to be near the front.
go ahead and arrange yourselves. We're about to have a snapshot of where you are, so go ahead and place yourselves where you would be relative to the cart and relative to what's happening. Your position may be important. Gasmir and
Under the cart.
Got it. Gasmir and Taldrid. Gasmir with Euros in the back. Taldrid. These walls seem familiar to you, don't they? You've been here before. You've been here many times before.
It's definitely been years, I would think.
Yes, I would say so.
How different does it look?
It's every bit as cosmopolitan as you remember. The flagstones are well laid, everything is well maintained, and the armor of the guards looks exceptional. Everything seems to be in excellent order here. It looks about as you remember it.
Ada's running shotgun, or has she hopped off the cart at this point?
I'm in front.
Okay.
Ada Worthware. The customs agent takes one look at you and says, no, absolutely not.
What's the problem, distinguished sir?
He looks at your totality, the party, and rolls his eyes. You've got to be kidding me. You're wearing a robe. Who are you?
I'm Ada Worthware. Former town council member
Okay.
of Suzale.
Ada Worthware. Welcome to the Southern District of Zent Territories.
I feel very welcomed.
Have you ever been bounced before? Don't worry about it. Prince Obarskir asks that all visitors declare their name, occupation, and business in the custom of ancient Cormyr. We've got your name. Okay, what else?
What are you looking for again?
Your occupation and your business. What do you do? You're wearing a robe. Don't lie.
I am a student.
A student of what? Where? Bit old to be in grade school, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm not in grade school anymore. I was ousted as town council member here, and now I am a study of what's left in the mystical worlds.
The head customs agent turns around and gestures toward his colleagues. He goes, okay, nice try. Okay, and who do you have with you?
I think they can speak for themselves. Unless you want to speak for them.
I'd be happy to, but go ahead.
Brenner Oswick, driver of carts. He shakes the rein. Trade.
Oswick. Why does that sound familiar? Trade. And what are you trading? He notices there are lances sticking off of the back of the cart.
He'll motion towards them. They carry good.
And your business? Trade?
Fine
Occupation, driver of carts. I can't help but notice that you have one arm and horses. Do you want to try again?
I'm Brenner Oswick, former captain of the Oswick Company. No longer. It's fallen.
The Oswick Company. Where do we know that from? No matter. And there's more than two of you.
Brenner will toss his head aside.
He looks.
Taldred will step forward.
You do so.
Taldred says, "Hey there, sport," and he produces a business card between his fingers, and he hands it over. He says, "I think you'll find everything you need there." And on this business card, it has very fancy lettering. It says, "Taldred Talton, incredibly handsome, and nothing else."
The customs agent studies the card. Really? You're Taldred Talton?
You've heard? I mean, of course you have.
Let's see. Taldred Talton. Okay. And how would you describe your occupation?
A seller of goods. Always have been, always will be.
And your business here?
To sell said goods. Also, a little currency exchange.
Currency exchange. Interesting. Got it. Who else? Come on.
I'll step up. Thane Maurik, escort, bodyguard.
Thane Maurik, escort bodyguard. Getting paid well, Thane?
Mid,
And your business here?
escort, bodyguard, so they can unload their goods. Then moving on.
Great. Are you currently in the employ of the Flaming Fist or what?
At times.
Okay. And who else?
It's a Gasmere. A family Gasmere.
That's your job? Your occupation is being part of your family.
Correct.
Okay. And your business here?
Sightseeing.
Sightseeing. Okay, how do I put this? It doesn't sound like any of you have legitimate business here, except for maybe that one that wants to sell weapons.
Well, Brenner's my cart driver.
Yeah?
Correct.
Pull that cart. Show me.
Brenner will push the cart forward with the horses.
Make a strength saving throw.
Nine.
You struggle. The customs agents get in a line, watching you.
Taldred says, "The horses are a little bit anxious now that we're in the city."
Taldred. I'll lock eyes with you, my back to the customs agent, and I'll go like this.
Taldred looks at you with the most god-awful grimace ever.
I'll roll my eyes, like...
And then he will... he points back to where he thinks nothing gold is, and he goes... because she's the only person who actually has gold right now.
Isn't her bag on the cart though?
I don't think so, no.
Transforms with her.
Yeah, all of
Yeah.
your held belongings become part of the transformation.
So Taldred does, like, Ada witnesses that, and then he turns back to her, and he, just gestures no dice.
I'll shrug.
Both of you roll insight. The two of you roll insight.
22. Killing it on the inside today.
18.
Ada. This may be more difficult than you originally bargained for. Taldred, this is going to be more difficult than you bargained for because you don't have a bribe, which is explicitly what they're looking for.
And Taldred had expected that, but he didn't realize that the gold bag was going to sprout legs and walk away.
Well, hold on. Cat Gold, what are you doing? Just creeping around? Sniffing things?
She sneaks past the customs agents, just starts, and wants to chase Samantha and Evan.
You watch as Samantha and Evan disappear into a building that is just to the west off of this gate. You observe that this building has the markings of a Purple Dragon Knight barracks. You see that there are 2 dragon heads cut into the limestone on the front of the building. It is just south of the royal castle.
Can she just walk in?
Into the barracks itself?
Yes.
Why don't you roll a stealth check?
Nat 20.
You feel rather unimpeded and have no problem going paw over paw as you slink into this massive barracks building. You observe that there must be 30 or 40 Dragon Knights here. There is a training yard outside where many are fighting with each other. There are some in formation, and as you slink around the first floor of this building, you realize 2 things. One, Samantha and Spanbauer are here. They're holding an audience, talking to people about their journey, and you notice that here inside of the barracks, many of the Purple Dragon Knights seem to be openly casting spells. They are practicing magic. They are casting spells quite freely in here. You slink back out before you are detected.
Interesting.
With some viable information in your little cat head. Here at the gate, the guards seem to have reached a conclusion.
Just give him one of the lances or something.
Taldred will produce a pouch of... God, I've got to hit the perfect fucking spot. Let's say 500 Electrum.
Roll persuasion at advantage.
Okay. Oh, one of those is going to be a 27.
The customs agent, whose name you don't know, takes the pouch in his hand and jingles it. He looks at it for a moment and says, "Get your cheap ass across the Chionthar." And then he looks inside the bag and realizes it's not silver but electrum. He goes, You said your name was Talton?
You know it is.
He looks around for the card. You know the customs here?
I should say so.
Hold on. He walks back to the boxes and starts transcribing something. As he does so, one of the other customs agents comes up and prods the cart. What happened here?
Hey, you break it, you buy it.
Looks like you already broke it.
Wasn't us, it was bandits.
Did you get this from bandits, huh? Bandits working under who? Bandits.
How the fuck should I know?
Why does this say Cole Cormier? Are you sure you're not the bandits?
Spare wood we found to prepare the cart.
Spare wood you found. He runs his open hand across one of the planks. Nothing looks spare about this.
You can cut wood to repair. I don't know what to tell you.
We didn't have the bandits go through customs first, or else we would know about them more. But yes, we were attacked, and we barely got out. You
Where?
can see our man lost his arm here. We're in dire need of food.
Where were
Maybe
you,
a temple.
where were you planning to go to get food?
Where
I
would
don't
you
know what's
advise?
still standing here.
Hold
Why
on.
don't you tell me?
Hold on. A temple. Friend, if you were going to go to a temple, whose would it be?
If I had to choose, or I had to choose in this city.
Let's say, for the purposes of our interrogation, anywhere. He steeples his hands and waits.
Lathander.
Hmm.
But I'll settle for Helm. I know they have a foothold here.
The guard shrugs his shoulders and says, "Okay. You know, I think that you and us are going to do well together." The guard, who was looking at the cart, walks back toward you and claps you on the back, Taldred. His chainmail jingles a bit. Welcome to Suzail. A few instructions for you. 1, keep your weapons stowed. 2, none of you can work for any private military company. 3, he looks over at you, Ada. No spellcasting. Simple enough, right?
Simple enough, Welcher.
He smiles. Look, I know that you don't know any better, so I'll let it slide. Nothing gold. As you are creeping around this tent, it looks familiar to you. Can you place it?
The tent that the genie was in that we saw in Arabelle?
Ah, it does seem familiar in that way, doesn't it? How
Does it
peculiar.
smell the same?
It does. How peculiar. How strange. Back to the party. The guards, the customs guards, I should say, resume looking down the road. They wave you on.
And we'll take the cart into the road.
Pay them more than you pay me.
Come along, bodyguard. Gasmir sets the euros and heads on.
It's been easily 20 years since I've been. Excuse me, sorry, my voice is all sorts of fucked up. It's easily been over 20 years since I've been in Suzanne. Where to?
I don't know. Never been.
Ada Worthware, go ahead. Roll intelligence. Unless, did you foresee a different
Let's
degree
see
of
what
freedom?
my brain says. 11.
Ada Worthware. You can think of two places that may be the logical destination of where exactly are we going. One place you can think of is, well, technically you still have an apartment here. Two, there is an inn right here, right? Wasn't it pretty close? You think it's to the south of you. It's called the Long Look. That is what you can think of. Those are your two things from your 11 intelligence. What were you going to say, or what else?
Find the paladins. They're not exactly subtle, but I want to make sure that we know when their exchange is happening. And if I know them, they're going to report to their superiors immediately.
That tracks.
We just need to find out where that is and who are their superiors.
So,
Can you repeat the name of the inn again? I apologize.
The Long Look.
Taldred would like to produce one more sack of 500 Electrum coins. And he offers it to the customs agent again. And he says, like I said, I'm here to exchange some currencies, but I'm not really looking for a bank.
He lowers his voice. Okay. He takes the sack from you. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for someone who would appreciate Electrum as much as I do.
Someone that's not a bank?
Yeah.
He looks a bit puzzled. You can always give your money to me.
Taldred looks incredibly. He is curating this look. You understand? This is not a reflex. He doesn't look angry. He looks disappointed in this man, like this man has failed him.
He has. And as he realizes that he has failed you, he holds his hand out as a caution, as he doesn't want the spigot to get cut off. He goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. I could help you with information. What do you want to know? I'll take your Electrum coins if that's what you're trying to do.
I already told you what I'm looking for. The banks here don't give great rates on conversions on Electrum. I've been told that by many sources, but I've also been told by a very reliable source that there are people here who do.
Maybe a collector? I don't know. This is a...
If you don't
Look.
know, you know someone who would. So who would?
You realize that you've entirely perverted the balance of authority in this situation. He looks overwhelmed. He shrugs and looks accused. I don't know. How is this the type of question you have for me? He stashes your Electrum that you just gave him in his bag and tells you, move along.
Taldred says, "You're the customs agent, are you not? I thought you were the one who would know most about the customs of this city."
This seems like a bit of a stretch. Come on, get out of the gate.
Uh-huh. Taldred keeps walking.
Brenner looks over the driver's seat back to Tald. Well,
I guess we're following Ada.
lead on.
Well, I think we should canvass the city to try and find where the paladins are. And short of that, I used to have an apartment here. It should be still under my name.
How long ago was that?
2.5 years?
It's at least reasonable. We'll check it out.
Yes, lovely. Show us to your home. We can have some tea.
It may not be as charming as I remember. But then again, neither am I.
Probably just as dusty.
The party has been congregated, unfortunately, at the front here, next to this tent this entire time. Does any of the rest of us recognize it?
Do you look at it? Does it catch your eye? Are you able to discern this thing? Assume that I had not had this conversation across the table with Jewel. Do you, if you this is a non-check type thing. If you recognize it, you recognize it. If you don't, you don't.
It's the genie tent, isn't it?
That's fair.
What?
Was that in character, Gross?
Yeah, I'd say it was.
We can shop later. I think we have more time-sensitive things to attend to right now.
Well, ex-mayor, lead the way.
Mayor,
Forbes told us to head to the first bank of Arabel here.
let's go there forthwith then. Do we know where our animal companion is?
I thought you put her on a leash.
I
No.
thought she was still in the cart. As Brenner looks back to the lack of cat.
I think you've learned better by now, have you not?
South or west?
I think we should go into the heart of the city. South makes the most sense. Where was my apartment?
In the residential district in the central south area of Suzail.
I think south is the most sensible. We should head there.
You are in charge.
I will lead the way. Our animal companion has been known to carry stones with them. I'm sure they can find us.
It is such that when you travel here into the city, we cut the session. Is there any business you'd like to wrap up or any conversations you'd like to have before we pause?
Just so NG has some direction next session. If she looks at the skyline, is there a building that perhaps looks really tall, perhaps taller than others?
I think I know what you're looking for. You see several things that could fit this definition, and you'll have to discern which it is. You definitely see the Royal Castle, Castle Obarskir, just perched over the city. But to the south, on the sea, you can see black spires.
Is that in the same direction that the party is headed?
It is.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
She will weave through these people, sort of like in a friendly way, but she's not going to stop and socialize with them. And as she hears the horses coming, she will run up, I guess still as a cat.
You rejoin the party in a feline form.
She hops up, and I guess the next time someone looks back, she's just there.
The party is suddenly aware that your cat has returned to you. There may be a bit of a language barrier here.
As the gold leaves, comes back when it's convenient with the gold. Nothing gold, all the gold, some gold.
Actually, I'm kind of curious about this. Would tongues allow you to speak to an animal? It says you can understand any spoken language it hears.
I think there is a specific spell called Speak with Animals that is
There
Exactly.
it is, but I mean, some spells do a lot of things that minor spells would do, so I was just wondering.
I think tongues would not do that because I think tongues is specifically like a translation mechanism.
Gotcha.
I don't think animals in the realm have a language.
Right.
That's a much more elegant way of putting it, yeah.
I will glare at Nothing Gold.
She looks pleased with herself in the way that all cats do.
I will pepper the group with small anecdotes, like somebody who's been back to their hometown. Oh, do you know that used to be an orphanage and now it's a barracks? That's kind of weird.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
We all have that friend.
some of us are that friend.
I'm that friend.
But I will not say anything of importance in the open street right after we went through the gate.
You make small talk. You give the group a sense of the zeitgeist here, as best as you can remember it from 2.5 years ago. What to watch for, what is where, and you are leading them south eventually to your apartment on Crown Street, and we will pick that up next week. And everybody's here next week, is that right?
Correcto.
Wonderful. Okay, well, thank you for playing.
Thanks for hosting.
See you next
I'm
week.
mad there's not more.
Yeah.
Always am, right?
Okay, see you soon.
See ya.
Later.
And everybody.